Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am out in the woods today. It is a beautiful morning, cool, lots of dew on the vegetation, and hiked back through a field that was pretty overgrown. It was almost up to my waist, but this is such a great spot back here. It's nice and quiet. You may hear some gunshots in the background. I've got some hunting seasons going on right now. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys a stove that I just got that I think is going to be a great option for bushcraft camping, but also for long-term wilderness survival and preparedness. A stove is a really important item to have in your pack. And I know a lot of us carry Esprit stoves or gas stoves, but those aren't sustainable. You're not going to be able to fuel those for very long. So a wood stove is really the way to go. Out in the woods, it's plentiful. There's plenty of material, biomass, that can be used in these stoves. But of course, the issue with a lot of the wood stoves are either they're heavy, they're complex to set up, they're like a jigsaw puzzle, you end up getting sooty and dirty. So looking for a lightweight option that is actually going to hold a decent amount of wood is key for me, but also another feature that this stove has that other stoves do not have in its size and class is that it is a wood gasification stove, and that means it's going to be burning cleaner. It's going to require less wood, and it does not produce as much smoke as a traditional wood stove. And that is key, especially if you're going to be using this kind of stove for a bug-out bag or a long-term wilderness survival type bag. So let's take a look at this thing. Stove comes from a company called Ganesh, and I have never heard of this company before. I'm not very familiar with them, but reading about them a little bit more, it was a very interesting story because what they're doing is one side of the company is actually producing larger biomass stoves for third world country villages, in particular for the women of those villages that have to cook over open fires. It requires less fuel. So they're not out as long or out further in the woods looking for material to burn. So it's safer that way. And also it's just a cleaner fire. Doesn't create as much smoke. And it's just easier to maintain and cook on with the stove. So they've been producing those stoves. And I think they have some type of program where they're donating those. And also, I think helping people of those communities actually build some of these stoves. Go to their website. I'll have a link down below because I'm not doing the story justice. But what I was interested in, of course, is the consumer side. And this stove is going to be coming out here very shortly. This is it. This is a titanium folding biomass stove. Very lightweight. But what's really cool about this is it is a wood gasification stove. And wood gasification stoves typically are round and solid. This is the first one that I've seen that is a folding stove in titanium, which makes it lightweight, portable, and you still get the benefits of wood gasification. But look at this thing. Kind of unusual, right? It's two stoves in one. And the reason you have two stoves, just like with other wood gasification stoves, you have internal combustion where the main fuel goes, and then that hot air around it is burning off all of the smoke. Now you can use the insert stove on its own, right? That comes out completely and has a floor that folds down, and there's a little bit of a door right there to feed your fire. So this can be used on its own for a lightweight option, which is great. But if you are interested in the wood gasification portion of it, this little guy goes in here. And there's the stove. So this piece is actually chained to the side of the stove so you don't lose it and you don't have to keep it separate. And then this just pops down. Just pops down over the pot supports. Now there are no other pot supports, so if you have a very small diameter pot, it's not going to work with this. Now you obviously could rig something up pretty easily. A couple tent stakes through these ports would solve that issue. But there are certain pots that work better with this than there are others. This is the MSR Titan titanium pot, which fits perfectly on there. And then another option is if you want to use something a little bit larger. I got my Boundless Voyage titanium skillet. That can rest on the outer stove, and you're still getting the benefits. The other cool feature is this. This is the case, but this is also the ground cloth. This is fireproof. It's some type of material that's actually silicone impregnated. So you put this on the ground underneath. And now you've got a nice safe area to cook on, and you don't have to worry about scorching the ground. So luckily there is a lot of material around here. I don't have to go very far, and actually I pulled some stuff off of some dead branches to get us started, but there's also a lot of material on the ground. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this thing with twigs. Of course, just like building a campfire, you want a lot of different size stuff. You want fine, small stuff, all the way up to your bigger pieces, which is going to be your fuel. But to get this started, we're just going to need twigs. I love that there's a cutout right there for the handle, and that the sides come up just a little bit higher than the bottom, so that actually helps with stabilizing the pot, so the pot has a less likelihood of spilling. Now as this fire is getting going, there's going to be smoke. That's not going to, that's not magic. It's not going to go away right away. It takes time for the wood gasification process to start. Let's see if it does what it's supposed to do. And nuts. Okay, what are we going to have for breakfast this morning? Well, we're going to fry up some Spam in the frying pan. And we are going to add that to some instant noodles. And then, of course, we'll add some hot sauce as well. It's not. Now that the fire is going, it is not smoking that much at all. Not like when it was first starting. And we've got boiling starting already. I think that's not even 5 minutes. That's pretty good. I'm impressed with that. Yep, we're on boil. So we got a flavor pack. Bunch of stuff. That's a rolling, boy, look at that. Unbelievable. A little olive oil. The only thing to make this better is an egg. I should have brought an egg. Didn't think that through. So the stove's coming out here in October. Check back on their links if you're interested in this thing. It's a very cool stove. I really like it. When I first got it, I was like, I'm not really sure about this. But with anything, you have to go out and try it. And it did fabulously. It's easy to assemble, put together. It did what it's supposed to do. And it's so lightweight. And I love that the case is the mat that helps protect the ground. All right, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you like this content, please consider subscribing and sharing and hitting that bell notification. Also, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this stove. I think it's going to be a great stove when it comes out. I hope that they do well with it because it's definitely different option on the market compared to other stoves of its size. So, like if you compare this to the Firebox, of this size, it is so much heavier, and I know they do have a titanium model, but I think this is a little bit better of an option, at least in my opinion, because it is the wood gasification, and you get two stoves in one. You can take that little internal stove, bring that out, use that for a day pack, and then put it back into the bigger stove, put that in your pack for longer trips. But it's so lightweight, you can, and compact, it'll fit into a day pack or even a large lumbar fanny pack, not a problem. So, great product, very, very cool, and thank you. If you are interested in the MSR pot or that Boundless Voyage skillet, those will be in my Amazon store as well as some of this other gear that I use. Also, check out the Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, it is a great group to join. 11.1 thousand members and growing. Lots of content from myself and other people. Also, check out preparedwander.com. That's my new website. Blog articles, photos, videos, links to purchasing Prepared Wander stickers and patches. All that helps the channel. So go there, check that out. It's a great resource. And we will see you next time on the Prepared Wanderer. It's time to eat.